Hello, brovs. This is an interesting book for several reasons, but not only because it's the story of Russia by Birger Richard Headstrom. I believe it's a 1930s tome. 1933. Not only is it interesting for the subject matter and the illustrations, but also for the fact that it is a former library book of Highland Park, Michigan, senior high. At least I believe it's Highland Park, Michigan. Almost positive it is. It doesn't necessarily say so. Yeah, it is Highland Park, Michigan. Readers may draw at one time nonfiction books of sufficient number to meet their needs, if not interfering with the rights of others. Only 2 works of fiction may be drawn on a card at one time. If a book is kept more than 14 days without renewal or special agreement, a fee of 2 cents a day will accrue. Keep your card in this pocket. Write name and homeroom plainly on book card, then have book checked at desk. Here is the slip. Last checked out in 1947 for an overnight book. First checked out November 11th, 1938. And let's see who some of the people are. Florence. What does it say? Florence Wishman? Cashman? Mary Jo Oren? Can't read it. My God, these people write small. Lula Jones, I can see that one. Ted Turgeon, Tom Epstein, 1943. Lula Jones. Headstrom, The Story of Russia, 947, 834S. I really like this pocket. It's not a pocket per se, but it's actually a pretty novel idea. See if we can find any more things in the book that are of interest. At least to me, most people are probably bored to death already if they've listened this far. But I do not mind that. I don't care. What is this? Oh, it's just the scribble. Illustrations. What kind of totem pole shit is this? The Viking Rurik crossed the Baltic and answered to the call of the Slavs. Peter the Great. Ivan the Terrible. Called an assembly in Moscow to learn the abuses of his realm. The Grand Prince Alexander visited the Golden Horde with presents at the risk of his head. In 1771, a terrible plague broke out in Moscow It is said that during the months of July and August it took a toll of 1,000 lives a day. The people, wild with fright, thronged to the feet of the holy image of the Mother of God, and many died of suffocation in the crowd. Archbishop Ambrose removed the image. At once the people became furious, and a terrible riot followed. The Archbishop is an infidel, they cried. He would deprive us of our protectress. He is in a conspiracy with the doctors to make us die. To the Kremlin, to the Kremlin. Ambrose was seized and murdered, and his palace pillaged. This made it necessary to use arms to disperse the crowd and to prevent further violence. Catherine sent Gregory Oryov to appease the revolt and to reassure the people. In the winter, the plague died out after killing, according to Catherine, 100,000 persons. Another 8 years, this will be an antique. Wonderful, wonderful. Anything's on the back of this? Nope, it's almost out. Lucy. Mary Marker? That writing right there is really ridiculous. Anyway, that's all. That's all. Would like to read this book at some point, but not in the foreseeable future. Very dusty.